Question everything, for the truth should not be televised. And that's for sure. So with that, I just got a question for all you other nations that's out there. When it comes to racism and hatred and violence and so on, what is the real purpose of not giving us reparations? Knowing that we've been through a Holocaust here in the Americas. Knowing that we've been massacred, genocide, and enslaved on our own land. POW still to this day. What is the real reason for not giving us reparations other than what we see as Aboriginal Niggros of America is racism and hatred against us? What is your reasons? Because remember, all other nations got reparations for the crimes against humanity done to them. Also, even the overseers, aka so-called slave masters, they also got reparations for losing us as being so-called their slaves. But yet still, those that went through the atrocities of enslavement, Jim Crow laws, lynching, redlining, demonization, culture destruction, community destruction, you name it, we haven't got reparations yet. We haven't even got a bill passed protection against hate crimes, and we're number one on the list to be aided in this country. Why is that? Now I hear some of you say, oh, that was the past, that wasn't me, that was my forefathers. Well, if your forefathers committed a crime that you know was heinous to the point of destruction of another people, why haven't you wanted to give justice yet for those people? Yes, it may not be you per se, but it still was your people that did it. And you know that. And you know how your people benefited in the trillions of dollars. Who owned all the gold mines? Who owned all the diamond mines? Who owned all the rubies and the platinum mines and so on? Those that came, infringed on the people and destroyed that people in order to get it. And then they turned that into generational wealth and passed it down. But when we talk about this stuff, when it comes to righting the wrong in the form of reparations for crimes against humanity done to the Aboriginal Niggros of America, the true American INs, or INs, a lot of y'all folks get into y'all feelings and start to act as if justice shouldn't be applied to the same people who've been victimized and destroyed and demonized and enslaved to this day, still suffering from the traumas of it, that they shouldn't get justice. But yet you say you're civil and that you're in a position of being just. How could you possibly be civil and just if you turn a blind eye to one of the most greatest crimes that ever happened in the world? And then watch the people, after all was said and done to them, the outcome of how they are today based off of what's been done. And then not want to try to reverse that. How could you say that you're a good person per se yourself when you see women and children and men destroyed and mentally and emotionally destroyed, traumatized, and pretty much put into a position of self-destruction based off of what your forefathers in generations after the forefathers have been maintaining to keep them in a self-destructive manner? How could you not want to see them get justice? And then turn around and say you're civil. Turn around and say that you're for justice. Turn around and say that you're in a position of doing honorable things when yet you haven't been honorable to the people you came and destroyed and was set up to come out to destroy. We got many books that speak on why you came to America. We got many books on how you met the Aboriginal Niggros of America, the true American INs, and then declassified them out of their identity, heritage, culture, creator, you name it, land, resources. And you benefit off of all that still to this day. Got a whole government, a whole empire out of it. Most of your people in America controls all the resources of America, all of the banks of America, all the economic growth of America. But yet, You don't see no wrong with what you have done. You don't see how you left these people, my people, in a destructive, the facilitating way. I tore that word all up. But that's the reality to it. We are people who haven't been liberated, nor has we been given any type of humane justice on the side of what has been done to us, nor has we been given any type of real health treatment in the form of mental health or any others to be able to deal with the traumatization that we have been through. We are people that tell ourselves to be safe. And a lot of us say, especially us as men, say, be safe when we walk away from each other. And that's the basis of being safe from colonizer police officers. Not from each other, but from the fact of the matter that we can get infringed on, pulled over, and anything can happen to us. We live our lives like that. Majority of us living in these ghetto slums and hoods that we was forced into know that we are still oppressed. Know that we still are being put into a position of destruction. We even got many great people that have spent their whole lives teaching this narrative of what's been done to us and still being done to us and maintained to be done to us. But yet you will not give us reparations. Why is that? What is your fear for giving justice to the Aboriginal Niggros of America? Why is it so hard for you to correct your wrongs that you have done to the Aboriginal Niggros of America? And what is the purpose of constantly, continuously denying us justice that is owed to us, but yet in turn utilize your laws and your codes and regulations to mass incarcerate us more than any other nation on earth, knowing that you and your nations are the ones who put us in the position that we in the first place? This is the reality of what we do every single day. Even the nations that come here that look like us, that are immigrating to this country, y'all look at us and look down on us, not understanding that we are still with our Holocaust as children. And it hasn't been fun, nor has it been easy for us on no day, at no time, and no hour living under them. It's been an all-out battle and struggle to survive and maintain any type of form of reality for us as a nation of people, as it gets stripped away from us, twisted against us, and utilized as a destructive method to keep us divided and destroyed. Everything we do. Even our own people have signed contracts to continue to keep us in a destructive, degenerate way. And all we ask is for justice, equal opportunity. We started this race of a United States in America 200 years behind the colonizers and all others that came to benefit off of resources, economic growth, and opportunity that the majority of the moral state of ground that our people has put out to push for y'all to be able to enjoy the daily life that you have today. Or it would be a very, very racist place in America today. All hands down. Very destructive to anyone that wasn't in the form of white supremacy. But we pushed back on that, softened that up a little bit for everybody else to be able to benefit but us. And all we ask today is justice. Yes, we are owed trillions of dollars plus majority of our land back. We asking for you to start somewhere to be able to look at us no different from how you look at the Wish people out there in Palestine and others that you have gave reparations from the Japanese to, you name it. We asking for our justice. Nothing more, nothing less. And we asking for you to start to reflect and understand what you have done and your forefathers have done and what you have maintained that they have done to us to keep us in the position we in. And when you do, things in America will start to unite. And then it would look like a united nation in a better place for all. But until then, the wrongs that haven't been changed will always be the wrongs. And with that, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. But that is the question. You let me know. Peace, praise.